Morning world. It's that time of year again. My Toyota is gonna need to be inspected. So it's a good time to talk about fluid film and etc. As you know, usually I come under my car and I spray it down with fluid film every year. And I ran across a guy in New Hampshire last year that said that he sells a product that's just a lot better. If you look at this, even though I squirt it down pretty good every year, it's still got a good bit of surface rust on it. I don't see anything that's rusted through, but that's how it gets started. So I'm gonna get this other stuff out. We're gonna squirt it down with it. I'll show you what it looks like. This is it right here. I don't know if he's got a label on the jar there or not. Yeah, it's called Rust Stop. This guy over in New Hampshire runs a rust spray business. He said this is better than fluid film. He says it stays on better, it protects better, and it doesn't fall off as much. I'm gonna get my little spray gun down and crawl under here and spray everything under here with it this morning before I do anything. Alrighty, this stuff looks a lot different than fluid film. Fluid film's kind of a neutral color. This looks like rear end grease, only darker. It's a little bit more liquidy, but it doesn't seem to drip much. Like when I pull the lid off, it doesn't seem like it runs off the lid very much, which is good. That's kind of what you want. I mean, the whole idea of, you know, people used to squirt motorcycle chain oil up under their cars because it was sticky and it wouldn't run away. I think this stuff is supposed to be pretty environmentally okay, but I don't really remember. I remember I read up on it before I bought some, but I couldn't tell you much about it now because my old age memory doesn't let me forget. But I'm going to spray it all over everything up under here. And then we'll let it sit here while we go to church and see what it does. And then see what we think after that. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. It looks like that. You saw what that looked like before. And that's a good look. Especially if you're taking your car to the inspection shop. If it looks like that instead of looking like that, oh, that's going to look just so much better. So my plan is just to coat and cover everything that's rustable up under here. And then we will take a look. And I'll tell you another thing about this stuff. I don't see anything dripping. I think I might have one drop here. I got a little overspray, but it's pretty darn good so far. Okay, let's do some more. I really like the way this looks so far. I'll show you. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I've sprayed that right over rust and dirt and everything else. One of the things it says in the advertisement was that it would kind of wick its way up in there. We'll find out if it does. But even if it just slows it down, and to be honest with you, to have something greasy sprayed on top of a rusty spot like that can't do anything but help it. Because rust won't rust under oil. That's why people used to, when they'd get old Toyotas, they'd pour their motor oil inside the Toyota truck frames because they were bad about rusting, but if you could keep some oil in those frames, they wouldn't rust out. So I just stuck my head in that lid, so now the back of my head is rust proof. That's lovely. Okay, well, I'm going to spray some more up under there, and then I might spin it around and do the front end. And I'm gonna let that sit right where it's at for a while. I sprayed a little outside here. This is that patch that I made last year. And I was thinking about, you know, putting something on top of that. And I thought, I'll just spray a little bit of this stuff on it and let it sit a while. That way it'll be really easy to come by and just touch it with my fingers after it sits a few days. I'm just curious to know if it'll kind of harden up a little bit or whether it'll wash off the first time it rains or what. So we'll get it out here where we can keep an eye on it. I got a little overspray on the fenders, but I'm not the kind of person that worries much about my car and what it looks like. I don't want it to rust out though. And I got some rusty patches that'll need working on. Like over here, there's some bubbles in my fenders like this. And I'm gonna need to grind that off and do something with that. But for the underside, I'm gonna call that good. We'll keep an eye on that, and if that stuff works good, the rust stop is what it's called. I'll let you know. I'll probably get another can of that. I still got some left in there, but I want to do the underside of the camper. I want to do my pickup truck, and probably want to do the Jeep for sure. So I'll be getting more of that.